to my channel, Forever Here. I hope that you are all doing well. I am so partial to a documentary. I wonder what this one's going to teach us. Thank you so much for bringing this to my attention. This is in 2 parts, but I'm going to watch them back to back because I am here for this. Please have a look at the description below to see the links to the original videos. Go and show some love. So this is made by an 18, which I love because I love to see the boys through other 18's eyes. I feel like I have friends all over this world. Now this particular 18 is in Hawaii, and I'm really looking forward to see what this is all about, what the point of view is going to be, and what the overall message of this documentary is about to be. I'm guessing it's going to be very different from what Chuck did, and rightfully so, right? Everybody has their own way of storytelling, and I'm really looking forward to this. If you were to go to the original channel, have a look at the description below the video. This 18 has written a little bit about what the documentary entails, and I really love this sentence. So as someone who has the ability to tell a story today, I am sharing with you how family love is central to Mahalima's lives. That sentence really caught my mind. Now I'm loving this view. Do you want to watch this with me?
Welcome to the first episode of the SB19 Spark.
We are SB19! Alright! Hello everyone, my name is Josh. Ako po si Pablo. What's up LA, it's the Pretty Boys Hell.
Oh my god.
My name is Justin. Hello, my name is Ken.
This is so cool. Look at all these people the boys are bringing together. Where's Pablo?
I am Feda Pilar Pineda, and as an 18 who had seen several videos about SB19, I realized that there's always a learning point, which is only beneficial if it's shared. Therefore, we're going to review several multimedia presentations to support the topic in focus. Today, we're going to talk about family love, something we realize that is a big part of SB19's lives.
Absolutely, not just in MAPPA, for example.
Family love is predominant in the Filipino culture that Google readily expressed it this way. Filipinos have a strong attachment to their families since they value their family's presence above everything else. The Filipino family is considered exemplary because of the values of close family ties, solidarity, respect, religiosity, and affection for the aged.
A very weird question, a little bit on the side. What is a nuclear family in the Philippines? Is it like a mum, a dad, a certain amount of children? What is that looking like these days? And is that different from what it was like in the past?
Naramdaman ko nung unang beses na nahawakan ko yung kami ng parents ko. Sobrang safe yung feeling. Tapos kaya meron gold dyan, it represents the sun. Tapos napilitan yung tita ko na pumunta sa Japan. Yung Japan kasi is land of the rising sun. So, yun yung story dito. Parang isa rin yung tita ko na naging mapa, hindi lang sa buhay ko, kundi sa buhay namin ng buong family namin. Kasi siya talaga yung gumawa ng effort para maitaguin yung buhay namin before. Tapos bukod doon, ito yung lolo at lola ko. Sila talaga yung naging
I feel like this is quite unheard of in today's age, in the Western world.
Tapos hindi sila nawawala. Kaya ayun, hanggang ngayon magkakasama kaming lahat, yung tita ko nasa Japan pa rin. And sila yung tinuturing kong mapa. Kasi simula nagkamalay ako, sila yung kasama ko hanggang ngayon, tumutulong sa akin ng mga gawin.
Love for the family propels SB19 to aspire while working hard to realize their dreams.
May gusto ba kayong sabihin sa mga Grabe, sobrang shock ako kasi nakaupo ako dito. Tapos sabi ko,
Wow.
oh my God, ako na naman walang parents dito ngayon. So, I was so touched na dumating yung ate ko. Thank you so much na kahit makita ko lang yung ate ko. Ito pala yung ate ko. She's a teacher. Yeah. Dati, hindi kami bate, pero kami bate na kami. Kasi nakita ko siya. As a lover.
Sorry ka, Ken. Kagabi pa nakaplano yan.
Oo nga daw eh, sabi sa akin, Kiss! Sino ba yung may pakanan nito?
Or kayo magkita sa hotel.
Oo nga daw, same hotel lang daw eh.
Same hotel lang.
Thank you so much. Maraming salamat. Kasi sinasabihan ko yung parents ko na baka next year, ako bahala sa inyo, pumunta kayo dito, makapanood lang kayo ng concert namin.
Did that happen?
Pero ayun, isa din sa parang first step to siguro to, na nakapunta yung ate ko dito. Such a blessing na she's safe, na nakapunta siya dito. And with my tito, maraming salamat. Maraming salamat behind this. Sa lahat ng tao na naging posible ito. Maraming salamat.
Siyempre, di ba?
Ikaw, Pao.
Bago tayo lumabas sa tunay na mundo, sila yung humubog talaga sa atin. Sila yung kahit na anong mangyari. Mahal na mahal po namin kayo. Wala akong sabi eh. Yun lang talaga.
Well, ako, talagang thankful ako sa mga families natin. Kahit mahirap yung journey natin. Alam mo yun, parang hinayaan nila tayo abutin yung gusto natin. Kahit sobrang pasaway natin ng mga times na ako talaga, well, para sa akin, thankful ako sa mga to kasi sinubok talaga nila ang pasensya ko. Dahil joke lang. Pero hindi mo. Pero sobrang, ako, mahal na mahal ko tong dalawang to, si mama at ate ko. Sila talaga ang family na tinuring ko. Sila nakasama ko mula sa hirap at ginhawa talaga. At syempre, panahon na para magpahinga talaga si mama. Kasi, ayun,
No.
panahon na talaga para magpahinga siya. Sinabi ko lang sa kanya, wag na siya magtrabaho eh. Konti-konti lang. Kaabot din natin lahat ng pangarap na. Hindi nyo na kailangan po magpakahirap pa kasi kami na talagang bahala. Kami na. Kaya, ayan, ate ko tsaka mama ko, hindi mag-alala. Malakas na kami, di ba? Kaya na natin.
It honestly doesn't matter how many times I watch this will always be tear-jerking to me. And I want to say about Ken that despite the absence of his parents for various reasons and him being brought up by his grandparents, like they did their absolute best and they showered him with so much love. I think I've said before that grandparents' love is totally different to parents. I think that they cared for you a little bit more, okay? And I just feel for him though. It must be really, really hard to not have that real like close bond with his parents. Like it's probably there, but they just don't see each other enough. And I wonder if that's changed now. Like, does he get to see them more? Or like, because obviously he's working, he's successful. Like, do they need to be away that much? I just don't know. I don't know how would I find out what the case was. I wonder if anything has been said.
Gusto ko lang din i-share na every time na kinikwentuhan ko yung mga friends ko about sa SB19, lagi kong sinasama yung mga parents natin. Kasi isa yun sa mga napapansin ko na parang may mga similarities tayo and nakikita ko rin yun sa parents natin. Parang like, kuwari, pag kinikwento ko si Pablo, ang galing niya magsulat ng kanta. Tapos alam niyo ba na yung mga parents niya rin, magaling kumanta. Lagi ko sinishare yun, yung mga pamilya niya, and even kay Stel, sinasabi ko na kung napapanood nyo, di ba sobrang, parang ang sarap kasama ni Stel, and same with yun sa parents ni Stel na laging may kwento, laging nagpapatawa. And kay Josh, alam din naman ang lahat na parang maraming struggles si Josh sa buhay, and na nagawa niya yun. And it's same with her mom na maraming struggles din sa buhay, pero nakasurvive siya and nandito tayo ngayon. And with Ken, na maraming nagtatanong kung nasan ba yung parents niya. And ayun, malakas pa rin, nasa ibang bansa, and andito yung mga kapatid niya. So pinauwi talaga namin para at least meron na siyang MAPPA ngayon nakasama.
Ja, idea mo to, no?
Hindi naman masyado.
Kala ko lalabas yung tatay ko eh.
Hapon siya din
Pag tatay ko yung lumabas
Mabigla
ako.
hapon. Ikaw, sa kanya na naman.
Kala ko lalabas yung tatay ko. Reunion na pala. Babalikan na sila ni mama. Joke lang. Anak. Ay, ito pala.
Ako sobrang happy lang siguro
Naluha lang ako kasi iba yung feeling nung biglang pumasok yung parents. Actually, naiyak ako nung nakita ko yung reaction ni Ken nung nakita niya yung ate niya. Kasi kagabi pa lang pinag-uusapan namin ni Kuya Don kung paano itatago yung ate niya para hindi sila magkita sa hotel. Tapos nilolook forward ko yung time na magkita sila ng ate niya. Sobrang excited ako sa magiging reaction ni Ken. Kasi alam niyo naman na every time na may ganito, si Ken lagi yung wala siyang parents or family na nakakasama. Pero ngayon, dumating yung ate niya. Sobrang na-touch lang ako and yun yung talaga nilook forward ko. Tapos man lang po namin lagi nasasabi pero yun po talaga yung nararamdaman namin and gusto namin iparamdam. Hanggang buhay pa kami, hanggang buhay pa kayo, magiging masaya po tayo. Ayun po.
Gosh, they are just so like outright giving to their parents.
So, paano natin?
However, if this love inspires, this kind of love and concern may also cause stress due to family obligations.
Yeah.
Although it may not be imposed by parents for their children to help their parents and their siblings, the feeling of responsibility is almost innate to Filipinos, especially when the child grows up knowing that the family is lacking.
And we were losing hope and we're about to quit. Because, it's really hard in the Philippines financially. We don't have, allowances and, to give to our family because we have responsibilities. But after we...
In the Philippines, where a good paying job is not always readily available, it could lead to parents seeking for employment in other countries, keeping them away from their children. They are called the Overseas Filipino Workers, or OFW. A phenomenon that affects a couple of millions of Filipino families.
SB19 is no stranger to this. At one point, Pablo's dad worked abroad, while Ken and his older sister were left under the care of their loving grandparents, while their parents lived and worked in Malaysia to provide for their needs, especially to provide for their education. Filipino parents put a premium on education, perhaps just a notch below food, clothing, and shelter, because they know that education provides dividends in the long run.
Kasi she died.
Oh, she did?
And it broke my heart kasi until high school, diba, katabi ko sila. Ako tabi, nasa gitna ako ng lolo ko tsaka ng lola ko natulog. Sobrang grabe yung regrets ko. Kasi nung time na naging medyo successful na ako, may tutulong ako sa kanya.
Oh, Ken.
Hindi ba ako nakapag-move on? Sinabi ko sa kanya na, bakit ngayon? Gusto kong gawin yung mga bagay na hindi ko nagawa sa dati kasi dito. Pero parang ayun, feel ko late na.
It's not though.
When parents become OFW,
I did not know for certain that she had passed away. I've not ever heard him say that out loud. And the way that he's kind of saying that he wishes he could do something, and it just absolutely breaks my heart. She was there for him when he believed in himself and he went out to chase his dream, and the fact that he is successful today, that's going to reach her. And I know that that is no consolation to anybody that has lost a loved one, but he has got to know deep down inside that him being successful today, she knows she is watching over him and she must be so incredibly proud.
it results in a different family dynamic. Grandparents, uncles, aunts, and extended family members often play an important role in a child's life as they stepped in to help in caring and raising that child, just like Ken was raised by his grandparents. That's the reason why there's a strong bond of family ties within the Filipino family. However, there's always that longing between parents and children, which may be compounded by the difficult living conditions both parents and children go through.
Biglang bubuhos yung ulan. Tapos tulog ako. Pag ganun ko, basa tubig. Umaano na, may baha na sa kasi walang bubong eh. Walang bubong. So nakatayo ako, kukunin ko yung ko. Dapat mabilisan talaga kasi mababasa yung unan ko. Tapos yung banig ko basa na. So inaano ko na.
This is one of the best interviews.
Unan ko. Ayoko naman kumato kasi nahiya ako. Hanggang hanggang umaga, ulan pa rin ang ulan. So naliligo ka na rin sa ulan? Wala ka ng tulog? Ligo ako sa ulan talaga.
Filipino parents take their responsibilities to their children and families seriously to the point that they are willing to sacrifice a lot just to provide for their children. And no matter what their situations are, they find ways to stay connected and be present in the lives of their children, even when in other cultures it might be considered as helicopter parents, always hovering over their children, just to ensure that their children will grow upright and successful in their own lives.
Yes. Lahat naman kami hands-on in our own way. Though magkakasama, iba kasama ako, lalo na kasama ko lagi si George. Siyempre hands-on talaga. Wala akong magagawa, kasama mo siya eh. But the thing is, kami, kahit malalayo ang mga anak namin, hands-on kami in a way na paalala, pag ganito, ganyan, nandun pa rin.
Ako hindi man ako hands-on na hands talagang gagamitin. but still, di ba?
You don't even need to tell me. I know because I recognize her face. That's Justin's mum, but I kind of see where these jokes are coming from now.
Kakainin, ito yung dadamitin.
Oh, that's
In return,
super
as
sweet.
good children, no matter what difficulty SB19 went through, it has not left them jaded.
Now, I'll tell you, like, I so relate to this culture, and this is why I keep saying that I hope that this never changes. I hope that if the country becomes more westernized or people become more modern, perhaps, I hope that this just does not change, because I really value this, and I noticed a difference growing up because my relationship with my parents was different, and I was held responsible for my actions, and I had somebody to report back to, despite my age, which was a real alien idea to a lot of my British English white friends, and often I got poked fun at and made fun of because of that reason, but like, just because you're 16, 18, 21, whatever, doesn't mean that you're not your parents' child. Do you know what I mean? So they are always entitled to guide you, and you need different guidance at different parts of your life. So you can't just suddenly be like, I'm an adult, so I no longer need you. Like, here's your boundary. Obviously, some people have a toxic relationship with their family, so they do that. But I think it's actually really nice. Like, who else am I supposed to go to?
They continue to care and love their families, and they cherish every advice and guidance they may receive from their elders, even when they are now in their late 20s.
Stand to your own, out of your box. Hindi niya ako iniwan sa kahit anong aspect ng buhay namin. Pag kami dalawa.
First, yung father ko, thank you so much. You're the best father in the world. Ikaw ang pinaka-butan na papa. Sobrang special nga blessing para sa kuha na naka, although naka sa layo, pero kabalo ko nga para sa mua na siya. You did everything you could to, to support us, and lagi mo kami nire-remind if ever na, whenever na napupunta kami sa or sa kumbaga tumitiluwas kami sa path, the right path, and you are there always to remind us. And sa mom ko, thank you so much, mama. Kabalo ko nga medyo yung daghang kagaginastorya kita ganyan, pero I know na your mother, kabalo ka kung saan best para sa mga. So salamat kayo sa pagpadako sa mga og tarong biyabalan. Dama sa layo ni Papa. Salamat kayo sa tanan.
Imagine how much they must have been hurting to be away from their precious boy.
Stage. Abot na ako akong dream. And ayun, nara ko dire para sa inyo always. And I love you so much. And sa ate ko, thank you so much. Though parang lagi tayo nag-aaway dati, pero alam ko natural kasi magkapatid tayong dalawa, and syempre magkalapit yung edad natin talaga. Minsan di tayo nagkakasundo, pero okay lang. I love you. And sa tita ko na nagpatira sa akin dati, salamat kayo. I love you. And sa tito ko, thank you so much sa lahat. Sa lahat ng family ko, maraming salamat. And thank you din kay God dahil naabot ko tong ganitong bagay.
These guidance and reminders kept SB19 humble and grateful for every blessing that comes their way as they continue to make a name for themselves internationally, and that is evident in how they speak to their fans and how they treat them.
Hello, we are SB19 at gusto lang po namin magpasalamat sa lahat ng tao na sumuporta at sumusuporta po sa amin, lalong-lalo na sa kakatapos lang na Billboard Music Awards.
And lastly, para sa aming pinakamamahal na 18, kahit na hindi tayo nanalo or wala tayong nakuhang awards, we are very happy kasi napakalaking achievement ito para sa atin.
And 18 for becoming this year's ultimate fandom.
Let's go!
The win is ours as well. You never fail to amaze us with your dedication.
And we look forward to conquering more heights with all of you.
Maraming salamat sa pagboto at sa patuloy na pagsuporta po sa amin.
Thank you! Congratulations!
Sweet. Oh. That is gorgeous. That is utterly pure. Really, the Mahalima 18 bond is like nothing I have ever seen before.
In return, their fans, the 18, are their fearless defenders and supporters, showering them with gifts at any opportunity they may have, showing up at every concert to cheer SB19 on, even at short notice.
So as you know, SB19 had a show in Boston. As soon as they announced the concert, I checked the flights going to Boston, and I booked it right away, and I got my ticket to the concert. So here in Vegas, it's usually hot and sunny. Here comes Friday, on the day of my flight, the rain was just crazy.
Oh no.
18 represent for SB19 at Jake Boston Tour.
It was very notable.
And as if to take cue from SB19's love of family, many 18 are also generous and helpful towards each other, welcoming and inclusive towards everyone.
Oh.
Giving away little goodies to them. I put like a sticker that has SB19 pictures in it. And of course my info.
I know you. I watch your YouTube. You do? Why? Nice meeting you. I'm so proud of you. Thank you. This is on YouTube. I love Kahili vlogs.
Like literally everyone is friends.
As if needing proof of this familiar love that SB19 embodies, they produce songs that are rooted in gratefulness for the blessings they receive, and in particular, one that manifests a child's understanding of his parents' sacrifices in raising him upright, that now he in turn wants his parents to rest and let them enjoy their golden years as he takes care of their needs. This song is entitled MAPPA.
The meaning of the lyrics really describe the traits of the Filipino which are known for, and that is taking care of our parents when they graduate or found a job. It's common for a Filipino family when their child finished college or became successful. Part of our trait is to provide comfort to our family, knowing that we experience hardships in life, our parents who guided us and provided us for our success. This trait is about giving back to our family. When Pablo composed the melody and quote, he wanted to make a song that conveys the feelings of being taken care of by one's parents. He proceeded to write the lyrics to equate our parents as the map that guides us to be the best version of ourselves.
Oh no.
MAPPA, although written entirely in Filipino language, transcends all cultures and touches everyone who hears it, a song that everyone can relate to. This song was already translated in many languages and performed and adopted in many occasions such as school graduation, parents' wedding anniversary, parents' birthday, Father's and Mother's Day, and even looking at a life well lived of a loved one who passed away.
The impact of this song.
The official lyric video of MAPPA had been viewed more than 88 million times, and it often left reactors in tears.
Mama, kamusta na di na?
We've all been there.
Tayo laging nagkikita, miss na kita sobra.
It's just such a gorgeous song.
Maybe new to the channel, from finding the channel through SB19. For those of you that don't know, the second verse really hit home to me, talking about dad, because that's exactly what I was able to do for my dad. My dad passed away on February 20th of this year.
Pahinga muna, ako na.
Do you see how it brought us all together? This was really, really interesting. And I like this focus for a documentary about these boys because, yeah, it's been really, really noticeable throughout. Because I guess, like, you go out there to be a singer, to be an artist, and you want to show off that, listen to me, listen to my fantastic voice, look at my dance moves, look at my fun, crazy humor and personality. But there's an added notch on that, right? And I think it comes above a lot of the showy stuff. It's actually the culture, the values, and this upbringing that they've had that is so deeply rooted in them and instilled in them that it sticks out so much, and it becomes a lovable part of each of their personalities and a charm of the group as well. And I just have to salute every single parent in the Philippines, because you're doing a fantastic job raising your kids. Because this, I mean, if this is anything to go by, which I think it is, the youth in the Philippines are so sensitive and really all about giving back, friendly and nurturing, and I just love everything about this. Now, as I said, I'm going to continue to watch part 2 straight away, so let's go.
Among the reaction videos of MAPPA, this one encompassed our story, and it also inspired me to create this little show, the SB19 Spark.
Oh.
Oh, what is that? Oh my god. You just made me cry here in this video, guys. I'm lost of words because I can relate to this because, of course, my parents, my family is far from me, so it's all about like sacrifice. When you were little, they take care of you. Now it's your time, it's my time to take care of my family. Shout out to my mom and my dad, my family back in the Philippines. And to those OFWs like me, who has been sacrificing, like spending time far from family. So yeah, this song is dedicated. I'm just so sad that this was like released, was that 3 years ago? But I just figured this out. I'm just so glad, guys, to see this video. I just miss my family. This video just makes me miss my family even more.
See, this is my thing, that I don't think I could ever live too far away from my family. It's just not in me. I think I rely on them too much. Even if I don't see them every single day, I think that I just need to know that I am a couple of minutes away, a couple of hours away. But I couldn't do what a lot of people do, is just live thousands of miles away. Like, how does anybody have the courage to do that? I salute you.
Now, how do I relate to this topic? I'm a Filipino born and raised in the Philippines and migrated to Hawaii when I was 15 years old. I haven't lost the language, but I surely have adapted the American way of life, and I may construe family love differently than had I remained living in the Philippines. And being in a different circumstance is definitely a big factor of the differences. Here are my friends with similar experiences as me.
were you guys when you came to Hawaii? Sol?
I was 11. I was 6 going to 7.
Wow, that's young.
I was 12. I was 11.
Wow.
Oh, we were almost at the same ages. Except Joe. Right.
I'm the oldest then. I was 15.
Oh, that's a difficult
So
age.
how important is education for your parents, and how did they communicate that with you? Who wants to take that? Joe?
Yeah, sure. Education to me and is very important in my family because both my parents are teachers, and just knowing that they are teachers, we know that it is priority to even get a good job and whatnot.
So you want to add?
For that, my background was a little bit different. My parents were not educated, but somehow they were able to pass on to me the importance of education. Along the way, I learned that education is an equalizer, that it takes only one generation to improve your living conditions. So it was very important to me to get a degree. Always implanted in me. It was a hunger almost that I needed to get my degree. So I did go back. I got my bachelor's degree and it was in business administration. I am in the legal field, just paralegal by trade, but I work with some of the best. And my daughter, I was able to impart to her the importance of education, that she's a lawyer.
You want to add something?
Well, for me, I think my upbringing is a little bit different when it comes to education. My mother was a teacher in the Philippines, but when she got married to my dad, she never pursued it. She only taught 1 year, and my dad said, "No, you can't work anymore because I'm going to be the head of the family." So education, and then since then my dad was always working, had a business, and so education was like, my mom's education, as I'm saying, is quite different from everybody else's mindset. But the choices we made, I feel that I learned a lot from my dad for having a business, because he's a business-minded person, and I learned that from him that. That's where I thrived. Whatever he did, I followed, such as business in real estate. And I believe that's the education that I got from him, which I'm very thankful for because it did make me a better person, financially, everything else.
I'm so glad you brought that up because education comes in different forms. It's not always the degree, So I'm glad that that's
it's not
your
always suited
education
to everyone.
How about Helen? Do you have anything to say?
Okay, even mine is different. My mom was born in Kauai. They came here, that's proud of my grandpa. They went back to the Philippines, and then they decided to come back to America. And part of it is like, of course, education. You try to get as much education as you can. Education is not only like the degree, but learning everything in the world, learning how to survive, especially coming from a big family.
Okay, so what did your parents do for you and for your family that you may consider special, that you yourself may not be able to compensate or live up to, the same level?
I think I've already mentioned it, that they work. I can't believe that they work 2 to 3 jobs, to support us, 4 of us. And 3 of us went to college and got our degrees. So I saw that, and I see that too. I'm doing it myself, but I don't think I can hold 2 to 3 jobs. So that's the thing that I would not be able to do. Similar to what Joe said, although in a different way. The sacrifice that they did. And I did think about this already. I don't want to get emotional, but my mom, not knowing English, coming here, to be able to work. She was a dressmaker. Think about this, how scary it must have been for her.
So what does family love mean to you? Just you. What do you think of family love? What does that mean to you?
Family love is the affection between family members. It's within the family and how the relationship and their affection to each other.
Well, family love is very important in someone's upbringing. To have a good family also can give you a good future because of your upbringing, and just like it will give you, it will set your future.
Yeah, it kind of like sets a standard.
Lilo Stitch, Ohana. Nobody gets left behind. Make sure everyone's taken care of. Make sure everyone needs are met. If someone needs help, that's your family. No matter what it is, go and help. You may have differences, but that's family. Blood, these are cliches, but to me they're very true. Blood is thicker than water. If I'm okay, I want my family to be okay. I'm happy for their success.
How strong do you feel familial responsibilities towards your parents and siblings? Responsibilities is the key word.
In my family, I'm always the strong person, apparently, as I'm told. That they can depend on me and I can help them a lot. I'm like the stronger person.
You don't even need to call me. If I know you need something, I'll be there. That's how strong my familiar responsibilities are to me.
It's given when my parents, when we were young, they took care of us. Now that they're older, it's a given. There's no question asked. You need to take care of them.
Yeah.
Like they've taken care of you through sacrifices, through thick and thin. You cannot allow somebody else to take care of your dad or your mom. I know in this generation it would be easier to put them into a care home.
Oh gosh.
I was going to qualify that.
Absolutely
as much
not,
as we want to
for
take
me
care
anyway.
Of our parents, I think there comes a time when we need special assistance.
That's different.
That long-term care becomes
That's
necessary.
different.
That yes, we've taken care of them. We try to take care of them to the best of our abilities. But when the professionals are telling you that it's time, or that it's in your parents' best interest, where you're no longer able to provide the care that they deserve, I think there comes a time that maybe it's time to go for assistance and go towards long-term care. It's just the realities.
I think that because of our culture, my parents were alive. They want us to take care of them, and we, like everybody else, Mommy, Sol, and Joe, and Dada, it was instilled in us to take care of our parents. Okay, so that was like no question, we have to do it. Now, in this generation where we don't really expect our kids to take care of us, so this is where we get stuck now. I mean, we have to really think about what's going to happen to us. But for us, because we know, and we were born in the Philippines, we learn to, we know that that's our duty to take care of our parents. But I think now that we're in this generation, we don't, for me, my opinion, I don't think, to me it's not fair for us to have our children to take care of us, because they also have their own responsibilities.
So what do you think your children think about family love, and how much involvement do they have and feel that they should perform in the near future, knowing your own children?
Well, my daughter says she will take care of us. That's what
Exactly.
she said. But
it's
I feel
instilled
that,
in the culture.
It's going to be hard, because especially with this generation, I mean, when you think about it, they're still working. I don't know if they'll be able to, support their own family.
I think my daughter would want to take care of me, but like Helen said, it's going to be very difficult because she sees me taking care of my mom, and I think she's going to try. But we've also joked about, oh, I'm going to check you into a nice facility. And I've also joked with her that, can you tell your friends too? Like, you know, Georgie's son, Ami's son, that they put us all in the same facility so we can run the facility. We say you make enough money so you can put us in a nice facility and we'll run the place.
So I kind of gather that we all think the same, that although we came from the generation that in the Philippines we were taught that no ifs and buts, we have to take care of our parents because that's how things were done back then. We are in a new country and in a different situation than them, right? In the Philippines, maybe they're able to do that because there's other people in the family that helps take care. If they cannot afford maids and yayas and all that, there's still other extended family members who are able to help. So that's kind of understandable that the expectation is there, that you don't send your parents to a nursing home.
Yeah.
But while being in America, it's a different situation that, you know, at certain age we're still working. And for me, that's why for me it became that way, that it was hard for me to take care of my parents. So I always admire you guys that you're able to take care of your parents. Like Ami here, until her mother passed on, right? You were able to manage to take care of her. So that's good that you're able to do that. But it's interesting how we all think the same too when it comes to our children, that we don't want or we don't expect, we don't want to be a burden to our children because they would be in a different situation, a much more kind of difficult situation compared to us.
So I wonder if, like, we're looking at a similar group of ladies in the Philippines with a similar, like, set of children, like, age-wise and profession-wise, would that still be the same over there? I wonder if the expectation is different because they're in America.
Necessarily, they wouldn't have money. It's just the situation is different, right?
Hi everyone, you're listening to the Faith and Family Podcast.
For those of us who may have different views on family love due to cultural differences, here's a podcast that could be a first step in bridging the cultural gap between parents and children, in particular of Filipino immigrants in the U.S., leading to better understanding and respect.
To the United States way back, I think it was March of 1980.
Hi, I'm Darlene Alejandro, and I was born here in the United States.
Lenny and Darlene have an amazing
Lenny
bond,
is like
with every
me.
parent-child
She
relationship
just
there
came
are
to
ups
the
and downs.
U.S. a year
According
ahead
to a
of me.
study published in the National Library of Medicine, Asian American adolescents, specifically Vietnamese, Cambodian, and Filipino youth, report higher levels of culture conflict with parents than other groups of adolescents.
What were your hopes when you left the Philippines? Like, can you tell me about the experience and
So
how
apparently
you felt
Lenny
when
left the
you
Philippines as an
migrated over to the
adult.
States?
I was
And who did you
15,
miss the most?
so I was a
Tell me
teenager.
about your experience moving here.
As a nurse, gain more
She's already a
experience
professional.
in
She's a
nursing,
nurse.
expand my knowledge. In another country like America, I wanted more financial stability.
So you could say that she's also an OFW.
Another topic discussed was education. According to an NYU psychology publication, the model minority stereotype presents Asian Americans as valuing hard work and education, despite studies which report that Asian Americans vary widely in their cultural values and level of academic achievement.
Yeah, from the day I decided to drop out of college, go to skincare school, that was like 2 weeks, and I just dropped it on everyone. And I remember Dad was like, "Oh, just let her do it." And I remember you said you were the most concerned because I understand it was such a quick transition.
Lenny and Darlene discussed the topic of tone and how it was often misunderstood in their family dynamic during conversations.
That
Many
is so
immigrant
true
parent
to
and
me and my
American-born
children
children
as well,
experience the
just
same
like
disconnect.
me and my
A
parents
study has
were.
shown that immigrant and refugee families face challenges to reestablish family roles and patterns in an unfamiliar society with a new language and sociocultural environment.
Like in the Philippines, we were not raised to be like our tone, because you guys grew up here and you are very confrontational, I guess, or argumentative, and you will speak your own mind. In the Philippines, I was not raised like that because I speak loud, and I guess you guys think I'm always mad, but I'm not actually mad. It's just the tone of voice.
God.
That sounds familiar.
I have so much to say at the end of this. I relate to everything here.
My kids complain
Like you
about
were
me.
surrounded by other Filipinos in
They're
the
like,
Philippines
"Mom,
who are all
you
the
sound
same
like you're
way.
always
But then
mad." I'm like,
I
"I'm
grew
mad.
up going to like
I'm
American
just very
school
expressive.
with all of these different cultures.
That's right.
And different kids with different backgrounds.
That's right.
So growing up, we had way more perspective. I felt like whenever I would say something, you took it as I'm mad, or I'm confrontational,
Right.
or I'm disrespectful.
Yeah.
Darlene, now a newlywed, talks with Lenny about her realizations as she grows older. In the end, their mother-daughter dynamic continues to evolve, but they are taking more strides at bridging their cultural gap with one thing in particular: their faith.
So you know how I moved away? Well, like I just said, I think our relationship is way better now. Even though we don't talk every single day, I think it's healthier now compared to like when I was growing up here and we both didn't understand each other. But now that we've had like these few difficult conversations and honest conversations, I think it's better now.
I would still continue to be a parent to you, still reminding you.
That's
so
one thing about being a Christian and with that Filipino culture as well, that you don't outgrow being a parent and you don't outgrow being a child of your
Yeah,
parent.
as I said,
We
parenting doesn't
welcome
stop. I mean, it will
advice
go
from our
forever,
parents,
even though you have
and
already your
we feel
kids,
that
and
we
you
need
will
to
do
take
the
care of
same
our
thing to
children
your
by
kids.
reminding
That's
them.
how it is.
That doesn't mean we are interfering
Always
with
be
their
there,
lives
for
when they're
you,
married,
and always reminding
but we
you,
will always be here to
and
remind our
understanding
children.
each other and respecting you as being a married person now.
I realized and I remember was that there's no child who wants that her family are not having understanding, that no matter how different your characters are with your parents and your generation gap, you want to close that gap because you want to have peace, you want to have a happy household. Basically, I think now I realize no matter what generation, in as much that our parents pray for us to have a successful life, having even our own families, I think all children would always have the same prayer towards their parents.
Indeed, if family love inspires, it may also cause sadness at some point. However, with hard work and determination, SB19 showed us how to succeed and to change the pain of longing into joy and comfort when, as children, we turn the tide taking care of our parents because love of family is always rooted in gratefulness. And no matter what our culture is, we can all relate to family love to different degrees.
Yes, SB19 made us sing, dance, and even scream due to utmost admiration. And while they're at it, they taught us the importance of family love. That's why SB19 sparks. This is Tita 18 Theta Pilar Pineda from Honolulu, Hawaii. Aloha.
Oh, I wish I wasn't sat here by myself. I should have watched this with other people so that we could have had a proper discussion about this, because this has stirred up a lot of feelings in me. I think I needed to watch this today, at this very moment in my life. How much do you want to know about me? Shall I overshare once again? Time for a little story. So my parents moved to England as a young couple with 2 young children. I wonder if you knew that about me. I was not born in England. I was 2 when I came here. So I've stopped telling people because they like to judge you. They like to put you in a box, and you know how I feel about that. But basically, I mean, how much can a 2-year-old really take in? I was pretty much born here. English is my first language, and I consider myself an equal to English, British, white people. However, that's not always the case, okay? Because I've got a set of parents that were born and brought up outside of the country, and it doesn't matter how much time you spent out of your country. If you were born somewhere, if you grew up somewhere and studied there, you can't get rid of that. So I grew up with these parents that were very cultured and that encouraged us to embrace our culture and our language. However, I was growing up in a country where there isn't really that much culture. Did I really just say that out loud? Britain, England is very, very different. People here are a lot freer. Religion isn't really a big thing anymore. And growing up, I had this massive conflict because what I was seeing and what I was growing up around was not what I had at home. I've said this to you previously. The city that I grew up in, Southampton, was predominantly white. So I didn't even grow up around people that were going through the same sorts of things as me. So I didn't really have anyone to relate to. And so naturally, I drifted closer and closer to my white, British, English friends. And I had this conflict. I was like, if they're doing it, why can't I do it? And this is a huge conflict between my mum and I. Now, my mum and I have worked through a lot of issues, and it wasn't really like a her problem or a me problem. It was because of this detachment. You know, we just didn't grow up in the same environment, and I can't expect her to be a certain way, and she can't expect that of me either. We kind of needed to meet in the middle, which we have done now. Like, my mum has always said to my brother and I that she never once even had to like get us up for school. We just knew instantly that we had to go to school, we had to go to college, we had to go and get a degree. Like, she didn't even help us complete our applications for college and university. We did that ourselves. Like, we just thought, yeah, that's how we do things. We have to have qualifications in order to back ourselves and in order to, you know, be at that level playing field with everybody else in this country. So it wasn't even about that. But I'll tell you that obviously there is then this expectation that I will go on to find a partner with a similar background as myself. And that's just not possible. I grew up looking at white people and finding them attractive and thinking that this is who I'm going to end up spending my life with. And to my parents, they're like, no, they're like, absolutely not. We want you to settle down with a person like this. And I'm like, I don't relate to that. I'm sorry. That's not who I am. And now it's got to a point where we're at a stalemate. Like, I'm just not interested. I don't think I'll ever get married. I don't think I'll ever have kids. It's really hard to kind of take that decision. But I can't be with somebody if I'm not feeling it, if I'm not into it. It just doesn't work. I can't fake it. And if that means that I'm going to have to just spend my life as a single individual and eventually perhaps even look into adoption, then that's just how it's going to have to be. I cannot compromise on that. This has stirred up so many thoughts and so many feelings in me. And what does this take you back to? Mahalima. It takes us back to this one group, very, very far away from me, all the way in the Philippines. And you, wherever you are spread across the world, we are all connected by this one factor. You do not know, friend, neighbor, family, that we are the same. I feel so a part of this culture and this background and the way that I understand both sides of these stories. That story about, I'm always saying to my mum, why are you shouting? Why are you shouting? Lower your voice. Why are you getting angry? And actually, she's not. And it's so funny because she was doing it the other day and I was saying to her, stop shouting. And she was like, I'm not shouting. And I was like, yes, you are. And now we're arguing because you're shouting and you won't believe that you're shouting. It was just such a funny moment. And actually, it clicked to me. This is a person that has grown up speaking Urdu and English all of her life. And to her, she's not shouting, but to me, in the Western world, it sounds like she's having a go. After I finish this, I'll go and apologize to my mum. So interesting. Oh my Gosh, I wish I could just sit and talk to somebody about this forever. Talk to me about your experiences of growing up in the Philippines. Did you move abroad? Are you one of these Filipinos that have had to move abroad to work? And do you support your family back home, perhaps? Do you look after your parents? What are your expectations? Have you perhaps moved abroad and now you have children in another country? And do you expect them to look after you when you're older? Such great discussions. Thank you so much, firstly, for sharing this documentary to me, and thank you so much for, everybody that goes out there and puts these documentaries together. It's just so incredibly interesting, and you get to figure out that actually we live in this one world where we are all connected. Nobody is alone. Thank you so much for watching this with me. I hope that you had fun. And until I see you next time, take care. Stay safe. Bye.